I thought the big news was over, but you know what? I was wrong. There's another game changer, and I do feel that this is an absolute game changer for home theater that's hitting the news, well, right about now if you're watching this video when it comes out, because this was coming out right when the embargo expires. So you can have the details ASAP. And what I'm talking about is the new product from MadVR. For those that don't know, MadVR makes video processors. So these are boxes that sit after your AVR or your processor, your Trinov or your Marantz or whatever you got, and then do some magic to that video signal before it gets to your screen. And that could be a direct view, it could be a projector, and they make things really cool. They can do all kind of cool aspect ratio changes. They can do all of the HDR tone mapping. They make your picture look better than you imagined it ever would. I mean, they're really that good. But the one problem with these things, well, way back in the past, was that they're kind of hard to set up. Well, MadVR fixed that. The other problem is that they're really pricey. Well, MadVR just fixed that too. That's right. The price on an entry level model has now dropped to 49.95, 5,000 bucks. That's crazy. The top of the line unit runs 15 grand. You're in car territory there. Well, now you're in, I'm an enthusiast and I want the best for my theater. Well, I'm going to buy this thing. And for those that are true enthusiasts, you can buy this thing now. So I'm going to do three things here with you today. We're going to look at some pictures of the unit. We're going to go over the press release, which I've got, which has a lot of information. And then we're going to look at a comparison of this unit compared to other units. And we could look at pricing for that as well. So let's get started with some pictures. Now, the first thing you'll notice here is that this is absolutely smaller than the other units. It's about half the height, right? And it doesn't have that PC look like some of the other units had, the older units. This actually looks really cool. I think this is by far the best looking unit that they've ever produced. It looks really, really, really nice. All right, let's move through these pictures and see what we've got here. So on the side, very straightforward. You can see it with the brackets for rack installation. Again, to the front, this is your three-quarter view, so you can see the perf across the top. You got the perf on the front. You can also see that there looks like a dust filter behind all that perf. And now we get to the rear, and we can talk about this just a little bit. So, uh, what you're going to see is you can tell this is a PC architecture by looking on the back here. You get your LAN. You got four USB Type A ports. No USB C. Although I don't know that there's anything USB C that you would plug into these. And then the other two pieces that are really important is here you've got your HDMI input, your capture card there, and then on the right side you've got the video card, which has your output. And these are all labeled. So you got your input here. So this is going to come from your AVR. And then if you need to pass through, you can pass through there. And then your output is going to come right there. So really, you only have to plug four things in. You're going to have your IR dongle, you're going to have your Ethernet, you're going to have your input from your AVR, and then you're going to have your output going to your screen. That's it. Super easy. Well, I guess you have power too, but that's the whole unit. I mean, it's very elegant, looks very, very nice, and it's nice and small too. That's really cool. Now we're looking at the press release, and there's a lot of information in here. So the unit is going to be first available to view at Audio Advice Live, Raleigh, North Carolina, August 2 through 4. So that's coming up in just a couple of days. I'll actually be there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this one in person. It'll also be at Cedia. I'll be there as well. And by the way, if you guys are going to come to Cedia, stop by, say hi. I'll be there. I live not too far away from Denver, so it's really nice to have that show in the backyard, and it's really nice to have MadVR there showing off this cool new gear. Now, the most important thing here, I think, really is this price. I mean, obviously the product's important, but this price makes it accessible to the enthusiast, right? Before it was, really high end. I mean, it was you were doing a high end theater if you're going to install one of these. But now at 49.95, now this is through December 31st as a special deal, so they're knocking off $1,000. The price will then move up to 6 grand, 59.95 after that MSRP. And this is for the Envy Core unit. And remember, this is smaller, 2U form factor. Now, some other things they're calling out, broad appeal. Obviously, the core makes this much more appealing to a larger customer base. From a technical perspective, this is going to use a 4060 GPU. So the NVIDIA 4000 series is the top of the line series that's out there. So it's the newest stuff. The 30,000 series is the last generation, and the 4090 is the top end. And I believe that the top end MadVR box is using a 4080 GPU. So this is just two steps down, and gives you a ton of horsepower, right? You can do a lot with this GPU. And we're going to look through a comparison list of all the different features that you get. One other thing to call out is the feature unlock in the extended warranty. So for an extra $1,000, you unlock additional features in this unit, and we'll see and talk through those as I pull up this next slide. Now, ease of use. It's not too difficult to set one of these up. And the other thing that I want to point out is that there's a lot of training. And you can see the link here, the Academy Online. And I have to say, I think this is probably the best training that's ever been released by any company ever for any product. It's really good. I mean, you should watch these videos. They're pretty in depth, and they will get you all the information that you need. Now, with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to the comparison sheet so we can see the difference amongst the different models. So what we're looking at here is the core with the premium pack, the Pro Mark II, and then the Extreme Mark II. The core with premium pack is going to be coming in at 6 grand, and it'll be 7 grand after the sale period, so to speak, ends in December. So that 49.95, which is MSRP of 59, so that 6 will go to 7, or the 5 will go to 6, however you want to think about it. Um, but I think most folks that are buying this likely will move into the premium pack. The thing that we really need to point out and where things get different is, let's take a look at these check marks, right? So really, in this first page, the AI piece is where things get a little different, right? So you don't get all of the 8K stuff, because this model doesn't support the 8K that you get out of the Extreme Mark II. And then the Motion AI, which is a compelling feature. And for those that can get into the Extreme Mark II, it is really cool. You need to experience it yourself to really understand it. And if you're going to be at CEDIA or Audio Advice Live, I would say check it out, because it's really cool. But that is going to be a feature that you don't get on the core. And I think that's likely to be the most impactful feature that won't be available. You get all of the stretch features. The one feature that you don't get is a geometry correction, and this really is for A lenses, anamorphic lenses. So if you get barrel distortion and that kind of stuff, this helps a lot. Or if you're using a concave screen, it helps with that as well, to eliminate that distortion, because as the screen gets closer, it warps out the image on the sides. A lot of folks don't do that, so this is a really advanced feature that you only really see on the top end theaters, really pricey, expensive ones. So I think this feature won't be missed at the core consumer level. The 3D luminescence boost is not available on the core, nor is the desired SDR luminescence option, which is the SDR brightness limiter. Those are not available. The number of profiles is different, although I don't think that's going to be super impactful. The max output resolution is 4K versus the 8K on the top end unit. And then down here, you get into AI features that are only available on the higher end model. Now here we are into some of the hardware stuff. You've got 1 year less of warranty. You get a less powerful CPU, a less powerful GPU. The amount of RAM isn't called out. However, you can see that on the higher end units, you get ECC, which is error correction, RAM, which is dual channel, and you only get single channel on the lower end model. Obviously, they're using a different system board and different GPU and components internally. However, I think that for most folks, and I'm thinking 90% of the market, this unit is going to be the one to go for, right? And I would say the core with the premium pack would be the one to go for. This has all the features that you need to really go next level. However, if you are super hardcore and you're going to build that, $500,000 theater, obviously you're going to go Extreme Mark II, because it is the best of the best. There's nothing that competes with it right now. But man, it is super exciting that today you're able to jump into one of these units for 5 grand. That is crazy. It is huge. Yes, it is a game changer, because before, if you wanted to get into this stuff, this is what you had to do. 15,995. That's what you had to do to get into the top end. And well, that's what you still have to do to get into the top end. But $10,000 is a humongous savings. I mean, this is a gift from MadVR to consumers. I mean, MadVR, sure, they're going to make their money on these units, but this really is them saying we want to embrace all of the market. We're no longer only going after high end. Now we want to embrace all of the home theater enthusiasts that are out in the world. And this technology will make a marked difference in the quality of your experience watching anything from a direct view to a projector, whatever you've got. It will make a really big difference. There's no doubt about that. And I challenge you to find a dealer that has one of these units that you can go take a look at. It's a big deal. I mean, the video quality completely changes and it improves no matter what piece of equipment you have. All right, folks, that's going to bring us to the end. I hope you've enjoyed this one. You know, this product is really amazing. And if you have everything else in your theater, but you don't yet have a video processor, now is the time to jump in. There's never been a better time, literally, to move into this kind of technology to really up your home theater game. All right, folks, remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you all in the next video.